As of 2026, the era of uncontested American AI supremacy is dead. Consumer applications like Copilot or Gemini function as polished interfaces, simplified entry points to the massive geopolitical black box brains running on server farms around the globe. The architecture of these black box brains is dividing. The logic used to build them is now following strict national and philosophical borders. This new Cold War consists of three distinct factions: America's pursuit of force maximization, China's focus on hyper-efficient inference, and Europe's mandate for infrastructural sovereignty. This fracture has ignited a multi-billion-dollar conflict over the future of enterprise computing. The victor of this architectural war will dictate the economic survival and security of global tech infrastructure for the next decade. The American doctrine relies on sheer scale, built on the assumption that more compute and more data will inevitably produce the highest level of intelligence. Currently, the United States holds the lead in raw capability. Google's Gemini 3 Pro maintains a score of 1490 on the LM Arena leaderboard, setting the current ceiling for complex scientific reasoning. Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.8 attempts to refine this scale through adaptive thinking. By using an effort dial to trade thoroughness for efficiency, it has reduced unattended code defects by a factor of 4. The effectiveness of this brute force method is evident in the Claude Mythos preview. During testing, the model uncovered a 27-year-old vulnerability in the OpenBSD operating system, a flaw that had survived decades of human review. However, these massive models are becoming a financial burden. Running frontier-level intelligence at an enterprise scale is proving to be prohibitively expensive. An LM Arena high score provides little value if the inference costs required to achieve it bankrupt the organization attempting to deploy it. China's pivot to hyper-efficient inference is the direct Chinese response to the unsustainable costs of the American models. DeepSeek V4 uses a mixture of experts architecture. Of its 1.6 trillion parameters, it activates only a 49 billion parameter cluster per task. Supported by a hybrid attention breakthrough, V4 Pro requires just 10% of the KV cache, allowing massive context windows on less hardware. This chart shows the economic impact of that efficiency. For an enterprise generating 10 million output tokens, GPT 5.5 costs $300. DeepSeek V4 Pro costs $34.80. China is also decoupling from Western hardware. DeepSeek is training on domestic Huawei Ascend chips, ensuring their costs continue to fall while American labs remain tied to premium NVIDIA pricing. This efficiency is a weaponized economic strategy. It is designed to make American AI dominance too expensive for the global market to maintain. While Chinese efficiency is cheap, it creates a massive data sovereignty risk. Routing proprietary corporate data through a Chinese API is a liability many Western enterprises cannot accept. This has created a vacuum for a third faction, Europe's strategy of localized, sovereign hardware and strict regulatory compliance. France is leading this push with a €109 billion infrastructure investment. This includes the deployment of 18,000 Grace Blackwell chips across the Mistral Compute Data Center in Asan. By building this infrastructure on French soil, European providers can offer a guarantee that data remains outside the reach of the United States Cloud Act. This strategy utilizes high-performance open-weight models, like Mistral Large 3, which allow companies to run near-frontier AI on their own local hardware, keeping data strictly within EU borders. This is forcing a dilemma on global corporations. Both must choose between the risk of foreign APIs or the high cost of sovereign European infrastructure. The 2026 market has formed a barbell shape. Organizations are flocking either to the absolute smartest proprietary APIs or to high-efficiency local models. This shift has eliminated the middle ground for proprietary models that are neither the smartest nor the cheapest. The tech industry now faces a binary choice: pay a massive premium for the smartest American brain, or self-host hyper-efficient models to protect profit margins and data security. The AI Cold War has transitioned into a race for localized infrastructure. Model architectures are beginning to equalize across these three regions. As that happens, raw intelligence itself is becoming a commoditized asset. Dominance in this era belongs to the nation that builds the most sustainable infrastructure to keep that intelligence powered, protected, and profitable.